your increments that would be taking effect. And Ghanaians are raising concerns. They are worried about what's pushing you to want to increase this. I've tried to make some sense of it, but can you explain to us what's pushing you to want to increase?
I think that around this time increasing, everybody has been expecting it because somewhere in August or thereabout, the PRC announced that effective 1st of September, water, which is our main raw material, is going to go up, and then power. If you are getting your water from natural sources, you still use power to process it, and so it's going to go up. So I think there is a general expectation there. We're going to go up. Just as to when. The next question is when, and I think when is what we have done currently. And if you look at other issues like fuel price, last time we changed the price, I think it was in March. March that we announced a new price change. That time the diesel was around 80. It's now 14.5, and we cannot see the end of it. It's still going, and so water is very, very bulky and very heavy. I mean, 1 liter is about 1 kg, and if haulage is gone up by that margin, then you expect that if we left it with the producers themselves, they'll be quoting something in the neighborhood of 70% for terawatt. But we, association, will come into in between the consumer and the producers to put something manageable for all. Because see, water is essential, like I have said, and if you are not careful and people are pushed too much to the wall, they tend to cut corners, actually. Sorry, they will cut corners, and that could spell health problems for those who consume the water. You know, the GSS, within this year, put up some figures that 72% of the population, the urban population, depend on sachet water. That is huge. So we also must be very careful the way this water is done, so that it doesn't create any untoward situation towards the population. We also use our packaging material. If you look at the whole thing, whether it is bottled or sachet, everything, our packaging there is imported. And so then anytime the city loses value by inch, it means that our price also go up at the same margin. And then also we do filtration and disinfection of the water. Everything about it is imported. And see, that should cause us authorities to sit down and see how we can actually grow our own, do our own, to minimize dependence on importation. If the whole thing is still out there, apart from the water, the labor that is inside is imported, then it means that anytime the city, goes down against middle currencies, then our cost of production also goes up, and that is the problem.
Now, is an increment the only option that's available to you? Because in my thinking, I would have thought that maybe you would have some conversation with the government as to these products that you import, seeing that it's an essential commodity. The government could give you some concessions, some waivers when it comes to your materials you use for the production. So it would not ultimately be that your only option is increments in the prices of these, sachet water or bottled water that we buy. Have you had some engagements with government?
It will be difficult to do that in the sense that we don't have, we look at sachet water, it's actually classified under the TIPC law as a cottage industry. And therefore, we do not have a full integration system where maybe from raw materials stage, each particular company can say, I import my own raw materials and do, it's a chain. Somebody is doing importation, somebody is buying from somewhere, and that's not saying. So it will be difficult to give an exemption. And then also, I think that we are not the only people using those flexibles. We use for other packaging, which are of less significance when it comes to human needs. Water is essential. Nobody can take that away from us. So I think that it's very, very difficult to really single it out. I don't know how they're going to manage that thing, but for now, it is something we have to bear with. 50%, we appreciate the impact it's going to have. We analyze it. If your child has to go to school and every day you put one sachet in the bag, in actual fact, one sachet is even too small. The human body is 70%, water. I mean, and then once you can't replenish the whole day, 8 hours with one sachet, it is actually seriously dehydration. The body should take, as an adult, like you are sitting down, you shouldn't take less than 2 liters a day. That is what it is. You can decide not to eat food, no water. You know, so we appreciate the impact on people's pockets and co. But unfortunately, that is what we have to contend with at the moment. And like I said, we have actually tried to massage it and keep it where it is for now.
Well, the for now just pricked my colleague in the studio because she says for now, which means that in the very near future, it could be just a few months from now, we may hear from you again with an increment. Is that a possibility?
We never foresaw that we could do. We could recommend. We don't fix prices. I mean, let's get it straight. We do not fix prices. We recommend prices. You see, if you look at the numbers, shared numbers of producers alone, the sachet water industry is like the sea. It absorbs everything. Anybody loses his job, comes to sachet water. Anybody doesn't have anything to do, we others come within the value chain. So we are like the sea. All those people who lost their jobs because of the closure of the banks and everything, I mean, find solace in this industry, along the value chain. Either you are distributing or you are producing yourself or you are retailing yourself. If people don't get money to go to school and therefore they send their children go and buy sachet water, go and retail, by the end of the day you get something. Also, it employs quite a large number of the population in one way or the other. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, it is. I don't know how to. And this is a necessary evil that we all have to put our shoulders under to accommodate.
Now, in ending our conversation, let's go through the processes of production. As much as you've increased the price, you've indicated increase the price. The issues about the quality of the water we drink is also of importance equally. You remember, I think about a month or two ago, we had a conversation and I had to do the report which had come out to the effect that some fecal matter was in some of these sachet water that's produced. In that respect, as much as you are increasing to meet your cost of production, how about standards? How about quality?
And then at the moment, I listen. When this thing happened, I do not expect us to go back to that story. I think that thing is a dead matter. The FDA came out to particularly state their position on this, and I think we can leave it at that. I don't want to awaken it. I mean, by all standards, they came out clear. Listen, if you are not sure, pick the water, look on the sachet. And check, there's a number there. Every car, every vehicle you see on our roads have a registration number. Is that correct? Now, if you pick it, you can use a code. Then you can find if it is roadworthy or insurance is worthy. The same thing, you can pick sachet water. There's a number on it. You can go on the FDA website and check. It will tell you whether this water is credible or not. Simple. If you pick the water and you don't see FDA number, don't buy. Period. Once the FDA number is there, you are set 100%. I can vouch my neck on it, and then I tell you that it's wholesome. And listen, I mean, naturally, put everything aside. Why is the industry growing? People naturally is growing not because there are no other waters in the system, but tried, tested, drank, and it's fine. So naturally, people accept it. People move to new areas. We don't have immediately Ghana water lines there. That's the immediate source of water that you have. Construction workers, so you can't go drinking as if there's a stream by you. You are scared what is in there. You don't know what has gone through. So the immediate water available is to drink this, and in so doing, I'm only saying that of course, I mean, microbial mensa wound. Just go pick the rubber, look around it. You look out for the FDA number. That is the first assurance that this one has an FDA number. And every number is unique to every product and every SKU. That is as simply put as such. If you don't see it, don't buy it. If you see it, you can go and then ahead and drink it for sure.
Now, before you take leave of us, the question which, we were asking is what percentage of your members use Ghana Water Company Limited's water to justify the reasoning that utility tariffs have gone up, Ghana Water have increased, and so we are also increasing. Can you give us a sense of the data of your folks who use Ghana Water Company Limited?
If we talk about cosmopolitan settlements, Accra is one, Kumasi is one, and then major cities one, all of them. For Accra, to be very honest with you, about 90% or more who have to use Ghana Water will have to necessarily have to use Ghana Water. Why? Tema here, if you are in Tema, where most of the major producers are, you don't have a choice. The bottled water customers they use the major water producer in the country use Ghana Water. Because you can't get underground water. It is very, very salty around at Tema here, and it's not even enough. By the geology of the area, it is not possible. Kaswa and all this, Accra is not. Kumasi probably will say that maybe about 50-50. It is not just getting the groundwater, but then also what percentage of it you can get. Mind you, our raw material is water, and the only reliable source for us is Ghana Water. You must get enough to be able to produce, repackage, and then produce. It comes to us at a very, very great cost. Obviously, if I'm using groundwater, I might not spend that much, but the Ghana Water is pre-treated. I've always said and stood very firmly on this, that Ghana Water at the source, if you go to Pong at the filtration plant and you take it, it is as clean as anything. But then our transmission line is the main problem, and the storage. And by the time it gets to us, something has happened to it. That is why we pick it up and then we repackage it, and then we clean it. At our end there, we pass it through this reverse osmosis, which is the ultimate filtration machine. Everybody knows about that. And then we give it to you to drink. And it has so many interventions. One feels another is there, and by the time you are done, it is microbially very, very, very safe for you to drink. And so that is how it is. And like I said, my first when I was mentioning, this is the only year we have done price recommendations twice within a year. We've never done it before.
All right.
And then we hope that we will not do it again before the year ends, if all parameters. But then, of course, if we woke up and then the fuel price jumps to 30 cedis, it's very, very likely. See, if you do a trend analysis, of the way the fuel price has been going, percentage-wise, you can project, unless something significantly takes place within this time, that by December we are going to hit something very high. I'm speculating. Let me put it that. But a trend analysis. But then we hope that usually, as I said, last quarter of the year we have the syndicated cocoa monies that come in, and therefore it stabilizes it. If our steady become very stable, then it means that we don't have any issues thinking about going up again before the year ends. And we only go up when the input changes is remarkable. They don't have a choice. Like I was buying the fuel at 8 cedis, now it is 14.5. The next move I believe is going to be 15. From 15, where do we go? But if it hits 25, then not only as GPRTU come up, anybody who depends on transport to haul its products would also think of pushing up. And you see, let me add it. Granted that we don't even explain this. The inflation figures released, I think it came out yesterday for August, went above 33%, right? With a 21-year high. 21 years high. We haven't had that before. So it means that, and this is a general, it affects everybody. For nothing at all, we are saying that our inputs have gone up at least by 33%. We have not changed our price by 33%. That's what it means.
All right. Thank you, Magnus, for joining me this morning.